Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Veteran Trash Talk Throat Punch Monday. And I'm so excited to be here with you again on another Monday. We usually come to you every first and third Monday of the month. We had a little snafu with some things, so please forgive us. But we are back and we'll be live the third Monday of June. So make sure you come and chat with us. My name is Leah. This is Lynn and Leitha, and we are your Veteran Trash Talk female warriors. So we're excited to come to you today. Before we get started, because we're coming up on the 4th of July, we're going to celebrate our independence by supporting our shop, which ergo also supports the end of soldier suicide. So make sure you head over to shop.veterantrashtalk.com, find some new merch on there. So get your Independence Day merch. If you use code 1776, you'll get 10% off. And if you decide to get more than one thing, what was that code, ladies? I've already forgotten. July 4, thank you. So you get 10% off any additional item after you purchase that Independence Day line with code July 4. It's one code or the other, so just keep that in mind. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Lynn, who has something to share.
Okay, so we just want to give a quick shout to Cheryl Summers. We want to give her our condolences. We're so sorry that on Monday morning she lost her father, who is an Air Force Vietnam veteran. And he is survived by his beautiful wife, Cheryl's mom, 4 daughters, 2 brothers, 8 grandkids, 8 great-grandkids, various nieces and nephews, and son-in-laws. He lived a joyous life, doting on his family and doing puzzles. And Cheryl Summers is an Army veteran on our Trash Talk page, and she thanks all of us for our support. So we're wishing her our deepest condolences and so sorry for your loss.
Yes, but Cheryl, we're so excited that you're part of our group and that we can share this with you. And we love learning about your service and your dad's service. That's what this community is all about. So we thank him for his service and you for yours as well. So last time we were here, ladies, we were talking about standards and ponytails and all that kind of fun stuff. And today we're going to kind of talk about what a female veteran looks like, because everybody knows, that PX haircut that we all get. It's so identifiable, I think, right? Like,
oh my gosh,
it's like what? Yeah, yeah, PX haircut, baby. I mean, I love it. So, we have been chatting about this through text for a couple of weeks now, and I actually just had something happen again to me on the phone the other day about being misidentified because I was trying to set up my primary care physician. So I'm talking to TRICARE, go figure. And they're like, oh, and your husband's social? I'm like, not why do you need my husband's social? And she's like, your sponsor. I'm like, oh, I am the sponsor, actually. Like, he's under my insurance. So that's great. It's like, oh, so that's what we're talking about today. And that's my latest experience, which was fresh on my mind. But I know, ladies, that you all have experiences like this as well, and it's been all over the place. So let's hear it.
Mine's just whenever my husband and I are both veterans. So whenever we first meet people or whatever, they're always like, how did you guys meet? And he'll say like in the Air Force, and they'll be like, oh, you were in the Air Force. And then they'll just start asking him all these questions about what he did in the Air Force. And he's really good about saying, no, she was in the Air Force too. And people just are shocked. Like, you wouldn't think that in this day and age, people would be so shocked that a woman was in the military. You know what I mean? People are just so like, whoa, what? So
right. So we bought a house in New Orleans, and I remember we were closing, we used my VA loan, and my husband's still active duty. So I think there was benefits to using the VA loan because we didn't have to pay extra under mine because I'm the veteran. So we used mine. And so when we went down to the sitting where we went to go fill out paperwork, the lady handed him the papers and was like, okay, okay, so this goes to the veteran. And she's looking straight at my husband. And so she pushes him the paper. I was like, no. I said, the house is under my name. It's my veteran loan. It's for me. And then they were just shocked. They're like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. But it happens quite a lot. Like even if you're going to the store and getting a discount or something, they want to ask for your husband's ID, or they say, oh, no, this is for the veteran.
Mhm.
And you look at them and you're like, well, I am the veteran. So
And it's like you have this extra thing to prove, like, oh.
right. And then so when it comes to men, right? So they just take their word like it's Bible. Okay, so so if a guy says, yeah, I was in the Navy, so I was in the Navy. Okay, cool, you're in the Navy. But then if I say, oh, I was in the Navy too, you were? What did you do? What do you mean? Like, how? What do you mean how? So a lot of people also ask me, oh, did you meet your husband in the Navy? Because he's Navy, we're both Navy. No, we met at a bar. So that's also a
But
thing.
was it a Navy bar?
It was Buffalo Wild Wings in Houston.
Oh,
So no.
definitely not a Navy.
Yeah.
I've known to frequent that place here and there though. So yeah, I actually have so I think it was last summer. I was in the pool in my neighborhood, and there were a bunch of people in there, and we had some friends there who had brought some guests who were staying with them for a few days, and then it came up that she had been in the Army. She spent 20 years in the Army, and I was like, oh, I was in the Army too. So we start having a conversation, and then my brother, who was a Marine, butts in and starts like talking about his experiences, like completely like, and he is not like an inconsiderate guy, like I would never deem him an inconsiderate guy at all. But he was just like, oh, and I was like, okay. I mean, completely in the middle, butts into our conversation so that we weren't, and then he was talking to her, like he was trading stories with her. And it was like, my experience didn't matter. And I wanted to be like, well, you got out in 98 in peacetime. So let's talk about combat. It happens all the time, but it leads to a lot of controversy too, right, Leitha?
Yep. It was 2 years ago, I believe. Fabletics put this nice blog post about.
I think it was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah,
all right,
last year.
Fabletics actually made a whole blog post about how they love their veterans. And
oh no, that one was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed female veterans in the pictures. This is going somewhere, I promise. So they showed female veterans, and they did stories about these female veterans. And then last year, it was Veterans Day. They did another little blog post. And so a female veteran went into their store and said, oh, can I get the discount and for Veterans Day? And they're like, no, that's only available to men. Now, just, this is a women's yoga pants. It started out selling women's yoga pants.
I mean, I know men like yoga pants, but I didn't know that they like to wear them.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
right.
Who knew?
Right. So it was like, so she put her story on, I believe it wasn't TikTok, Twitter.
It's on Twitter.
And it just blew up because other people were like, that happened to me too. It wasn't a one-time thing. So they only give their discount to men.
Yeah. And then, so I remember seeing all these posts about it. And the thing about it is not that we want the discount. We don't care about the discount. It's the fact that a lot of times women get discredited for their service. We sign the same document for service to give up our life. We say we sign the same documents, we do the same sacrifices, we do the same things, and here we are still trying to prove ourselves or saying, hey, listen, this is only available to the men and not to you. Like, that's very not fair at all, and it's discrediting all of our service. So it's not the fact that we don't get the 10%, it's the fact it's like a bigger issue than that.
Which, I mean, by the way, we're fighting that like ongoing with everything anyway, just being respected as women who are serving like two other service members. I mean, you have to fight for respect amongst each other in the uniform. You have to fight respect for civilians, like what we're talking about, like being discredited of like, oh, well, you're not the veteran. And now there are companies that are like, oh, well, you can have it if you're a male veteran. Like, okay, well, last I checked, I fought in the war and I did the things. And I hate throwing stuff like that up. Like a lot of times people don't even know that I was in the military, but it's like when somebody starts disrespecting me or that position, then I get really triggered. I do.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. Well, you don't look like you served.
Well,
I'm sorry, I'm not a man.
Right?
I'm sorry, I don't look like a man.
Right.
Yeah. You're not manly.
So,
you seem too nice. You seem too nice. There's no way you were in the military. Yeah.
Well, and for that, I don't know about you ladies, like I had to work to be nice because I wasn't nice in the military, and it took me a long time to be nice.
Yeah,
to figure that out.
So, I just started being nice. It was hard to be nice, especially in the Navy. They called the women in charge in leadership, they would call them pit bulls with lipstick. So really? Yeah, because you would have to be fierce. Like in order to be respected, you have to be, and in the male world, they would call it assertive, right? And a little bit dominant. But if you're a female, they're gonna call you a bitch. Let's just go ahead and say you're the B word. You're a bitch if you're being assertive. So as a woman, you gotta be that way. So I mean, and if you're nice, you're gonna get walked all over.
Yeah. Right. And then if you do speak up, then you're just a troublemaker.
Yes. Yeah. I was a troublemaker and a bitch. But I have to say there was a little bit of satisfaction when I would see people coming and see me. They would lock eyes and then they would turn and go the other way like, oh shit. Yeah. I'm like, that's right. That's right. You run. You keep going that way. And by the way, pull your pants up. Where's your belt?
Yeah. Where's your PT belt? I did some research on this. And so in 1973, there was only 2% of females in the armed forces. And now, as of November 2020, that is, only 10 to 16% of the armed forces are female.
That's incredibly low still.
Yeah.
So it's, in a way, it's kind of understandable that people still don't realize that women serve because it's not really the norm. And I wonder if they think like, well, why would you do that? I know I've been asked things like, or people tell me like, oh, I could never do that. Like that's so tough. And then you think, well, I mean, there are some things that are really hard about it, but most of the time you just get up and go to work like any other job, do your job. You could probably do it. But
and they train you. That's what basic training's for, is to rip you down, to build you up into who you are. I don't know about now when they get all these fancy timeout cards and all that because they're getting hurt, their feelings hurt. But that's another subject for another show.
Wait, that's real life?
My stress card. I would like to see my stress card, please.
I know when I was back in the early 2000s, they were talking about the stress card, but like it was a myth. So I don't know if it's real. Is it real?
They tried it out. Yeah.
I don't know.
I was in the early 90s, so none of that was going on.
We never had a stress card. I did, as an NCO, have a hurt feelings report that I would have some soldiers fill out sometimes. I could make fun of them.
Hurt feelings report?
Yeah, and I would put it in their counseling packet.
Is that like a DD what? What form number was that?
I don't know what form number that was, but I'd be like, oh, your feelings are hurt? You just fill this out for me, soldier, and I'll just put in your counseling packet. All right, ladies. So what does a female veteran look like exactly?
Looks like me, looks like you, looks like Lynn. What? There's no look to it.
What?
Yeah.
You mean that we just look like normal people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
our makeup and comb our hair.
Yeah. We have kids sometimes and, do mom stuff. It's just like, yeah.
But not like real moms. I mean,
Not real, because we're
like
kind of
women
like
veterans are probably like cold-hearted bitches, right? Like we can't be like good moms.
Like drill sergeants, right?
right. So I just want to say, when we first brought up this subject, we brought it up on our old page on the VTT group, and that one got cashed out, whatever. So we started a new one. But anyway, we had so many comments from women veterans that were saying the same thing, echoing the same thing. And then there's another Facebook group called Voice for Military Women, Past and Present. And so there was a recent post. I just want to read it. It says, well, it happened to me today, ladies. An older couple asked my husband if he served, and he replied yes, and they thanked him for his service. He then told them, my wife serves as well, and I smiled, and they proceeded to say, oh, okay, and no questions to her about her job. Like they asked him, they didn't even look at her when talking about the military. So it's like she didn't join for the recognition, but wow. And then there are over 100 comments on there, and there are 363 reactions, either likes or sad faces, because people all, agree or have experienced the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, and it's so sad. It's not that you're going out seeking recognition. I mean, you can identify the people that do that, and it's usually guys who are at the airport or wherever they are, like wearing their uniform, and it's all jacked up, and like that is like trigger me big time. Like I want to be like, but
or the stolen valor people, right?
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So they walk around like they want the attention, they want the free drinks or the free meals, all that stuff. Like but I don't think I've ever seen a woman do that. Like, because like when we're done with work, we go home and we take that crap off. Like we're proud to wear the uniform. We're
it's
proud
like
to wear it.
it's like a bra, but like 1,000 times. Like
Right.
you
Like-
want to take it off soon as you you're like peeling your clothes off soon as you get home. Like, no, I need this uniform off.
It's not comfortable because it's made for men.
Yes.
Maybe one of
Well,
them.
especially when it's hot in the summer. It's still long sleeves, still wearing long sleeves, and the material is very thick.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So it's not like we are going out like, excuse me, appreciate me, thank me.
Like, thank me for my service.
Right.
No.
Like that always makes me feel awkward when people do that. But when people blatantly disrespect you in your service, like that's a whole different thing. And it's really annoying and frustrating because you do sacrifice, regardless of how long you were in or where you served or which branch, like you sacrificed time, you sacrificed your life, you were willing to give up your life. And a lot of people are every single day, even though they're alive in front of you, they're not there mentally, they're already checked out. And it's just so disrespectful. And I mean, that I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole, so I might not want to do that. But I mean, like that's that whole thing of all the stuff that you deal with, which all veterans deal with combat and that sort of thing. And then we have the whole other thing of MST and sexual harassment, all that kind of stuff that we're dealing with on top of it, that we just have to suck up and can't even acknowledge that I wore the uniform. Like if you're acknowledging somebody else, like that's rude. Rude.
Yep.
All right. I'll let somebody else talk because I'm getting
You're getting. Let's see. I have another post from that one female group. And so it was a poll, and the poll said, how many of you feel like you have faced a form of sexism in the military that or either number one made you question your worth, two made you want to give up on the military, three make you feel like you only got something because you were a woman, or four didn't deserve something because you were a woman. And so 1,621 people, women, voted yes. And then there was other answers that were added. 658 voted made you feel your accomplishments were not as significant. 650 votes for flat out ignored or talked over by men / mansplaining. 421 votes went to been considered rude / disrespectful for being passionate and honest. And 397 votes had to do the job 2 times as good as the boys to be considered equal. So that alone shows you the kind of adversity that women face, you know, in the military as well as outside the military. Now, those were only a few questions or a few answers. There's a bunch of other ones on there, which I'm not going to read off of, but there is so many comments on here. I mean, over 1,600 people voted yes to that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I'm sure these 3 ladies can all vote yes for that as well.
Yep. I voted yes on that one.
Yeah, I see your vote.
My yes goes to several of those options too, not just one. And I'm sure that would be the case for a lot of us. So, you know, and it's so sad because that's a small portion of our female services, but those are a lot of numbers in that tiny portion that said yes.
And this is not like us saying, oh, woe is me. No, it's just bringing awareness that this is the type of things that we deal with, you know?
Yeah.
But, and that's why we're here too, because we're speaking to all veterans, but our voices are here for specifically the female veterans to know that you're not invisible. We see you and we hear you and we care, you know, we want to get the word out and have that support system.
Right.
So. And that's why we have our group that keeps getting shut down.
Yeah, it keeps getting shut down.
I don't know what's happening, but y'all just keep coming over there to Veteran Trash Talk, our group on Facebook. It's public right now, right? It's called Official, Veteran Trash Talk Official right now.
BTT official. We're also on Smoke and Bacon, which is a new community. The boys just did a podcast with Wade, and he is one of the founders of that app. So it's a really cool app. We're on there. Get on that app too.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to pay, but it's not free, and they're not going to kick you off like Facebook does.
Right.
So
there's not going to be anybody like policing you, and I don't know. People are like, we're in the woke era right now. And so I don't know who's coming over to our veteran group and then, you know, crying to mama about something. But I mean, I think the moderators do a phenomenal job. But I don't know, something is happening over there, but Facebook is not going to shut us down. We will not quit. We are here to stand together and to build this community so that we can be there for one another. So we're stopping soldier suicide, and I'm a huge proponent in getting our voices out against MST and sexual harassment, and just knowing that you're not alone. You are not alone. So there is that. Who wants to talk about the I Am Not Invisible? Let's see. I'm Not Invisible project with the VA.
Lynn, tell us about that.
Okay, so I think a couple years ago, the VA launched for Women's Month, the I Am Not Invisible project, and it just highlights various women, different backgrounds, you know, different ethnicities, different places, different jobs or professions of what they do now, of being a woman veteran and their experiences, and it's just showcasing different women. And so every state also has their own little branch of I Am Not Invisible, and so it's a good thing to show that we are there.
We'll have to look into it, and everybody should look into it and then see what they can do in their state to help.
They just made a film too. Someone made a film about it and about her struggles with the VA, because women do have a whole different other stuff of health issues that are, you know, different from men. And so it highlights all the struggles and difficulties that we have to go through to even get recognized. Like, oh, are you sure it's not just your period? No, it's not just, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Things like that.
Is it hormones?
Yeah. Is it hormones? So Are you sure you're not pregnant? No, I got my tubes taken out. You literally just read that. But yeah, so.
But did any of you guys get that in if you spoke up in like your company? Did you guys get stupid comments like that?
Oh, all the time.
Your period? Are you starting your period soon?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day. There wasn't a day that didn't go by.
Yeah.
And that's how I got the reputation of just being a bitch, because I was always on my period, apparently.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. All right, well, Leitha, tell us something good.
I got something really good. So the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is actually they're doing hearings right now to change the rules of how they prosecute sexual assault crimes and other crimes.
Good.
Instead of going through the military chain of command, they want it to actually go through an unbiased, the outside the actual police and all that. So there's no more good old boy network. Hopefully, if this passes, because they're in there voting on it now, there will be no more good old boy network deciding whether sexual assault cases are
No
real
more
or
sweeping it under the rug.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
And
about
promoting them. And
Yeah.
time. Yes, it's about time.
Yeah, let's not, I really like this guy. We probably play golf together. So let's promote this guy so he can move somewhere else.
do you know what that act is called?
This was on Military Times.
Mhm.
Let me see. It didn't say, it just says right now they're debating it.
Yeah.
They need to stop debating it and make the decision, because this has been like way too long not happening.
I agreed. And it says British, Israeli, and other countries have already moved to that model.
Good.
Well, I mean, hello, look at the Israeli women. Like they have their own female special forces team.
I know.
They are so
badass.
awesome. They are so awesome.
friends.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we got our own over here. We're gonna keep the women over here, and we gonna do the thing. Okay. So yeah.
And they don't mess around.
I had one come up to my window today at work, and I was kind of scared. I was like, oh, dang, is she going to hurt me?
Yes. They're awesome scary though, because you're like, okay.
You want them to be on your side.
You want to like be buddies with them.
Yeah. Hey, you're my friend.
Yeah, perfect. So that's the bright side of what we're talking about today. I do love that, and I hope you keep us posted on that, Leitha, because
Will do.
I want to see that pass for sure.
Me too.
All right, ladies, before we sign off here, do we have any parting words? Anybody have anything you want to?
Remember, you're loved and cared about. So if you need to talk to somebody, you can always message one of us or go on the page and put a post on there. And there's always somebody there to respond and help you.
Yeah.
We get you because we are there too.
Love that. Don't do it alone. Len?
All right. So remember, women, you are 10% of the 10%. Don't let anyone tell you because you were a woman that you served, that your service wasn't as hard or as important. You are your voice, and you will be heard.
Yes, we hear you, ladies. So before we sign off here, we just thank you so much for your support. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and let us know if there's anything else that you want us to talk about, or if you need to chat with us, and connect with us over on Facebook with Veteran Trash Talk, or on the Smoke and Bacon app. Lynn, how do they find us on that app?
So they would go and download it. Just everyone's on Facebook. Don't lie. You're on Facebook. Go to VTT Official. On the announcements, it shows Smoke and Bacon. So you click on the announcements, and either Nick or Veteran Trash Talk has posted it, and there is a link there. So use our link, and then you get 1 week free, and it's either $4.99 a month or a yearly subscription. So definitely worth it, so that we don't get zucked on there, and we still have our veteran community.
Right, because we want to stick together for sure. So One last shout out to our shop. So go to the shop at shop.veterantrashtalk.com and use code 1776 up to the end of June to get 10% off of your 4th of July merch. There's some really good shirts on there. So make sure you grab that up and rep our country and this brand, Veteran Trash Talk. And we will see you next time, I guess. Are we done?
All right.
I'm like, out of it.
Punch Monday.
All right. Hey, or what is that? Third Monday. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. The next one's gonna be alive.
17th. Yeah. So
21st, I think.
21st.
One of these days.
Yeah, June 21st at 6:30 p.m. right, Eastern. We'll get it straight. We're still new to this.
Just go to YouTube and subscribe.
Yeah.
Just
And then you'll
subscribe.
Just get the notifications, okay?
We're also on Apple, on the podcast there, and Spotify. So you can listen to us while you're driving to work. You don't have to watch. I know we're like easy on the eyes, but
I know.
We don't look like veterans.
we don't look like veterans.
Maybe I'm gonna get my PX haircut.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no. No, don't do it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time.